I still can't figure it out. Like I'm sitting here in my office, I rack my brain, like, how does this work out well? I don't think anybody can play it out. I know Kurt's trying to be politically correct in what he's saying, but all of us that understand team building are saying this ain't going to work.
That's the biggest thing for me. I love winning, and I'm a team guy, and that's what I'm gonna be in the locker room. And Kurt, he's an amazing guy. I actually watched the quarterback series with him, and seeing that he's a man of faith, just like me.
Welcome on in, Atlanta Falcons faithful, the beautiful fan base of the Atlanta Falcons. Welcome on in. Happy to have you. We have a beautiful conversation, right? And I want this to be a back and forth. I have a very interesting relationship with you guys, okay? Because I remember during the season, we did not get along very well because of the Desmond Ridder agenda that you guys thought I was putting on. There wasn't an agenda. I really didn't think that Ridder was the long-term solution for you guys. And there was a good percentage of you guys defending me in the comments, a larger percentage of you actually just saying really horrible things. But look now, look at what happened now. You got a big-time quarterback in Kirk Cousins, and then at the 8th pick in the NFL draft, you guys picked up Michael Penix. So, first question, how do you feel? I understand draft night, you're probably pissed, you're probably upset, you're probably just confused. That was probably the one position and or player you were just like, we're not getting him. Were you thinking edge rusher? Were you thinking wide receiver? Roma Dunze, I think, was open at that point in time and ready. Leia Tulatu is who I was thinking. Jared Verse even. Let me know in the comments, who were you anticipating? And then what were your emotions right after the Michael Penix selection? And I've heard of so many different perspectives, and I've heard so many different outlets as to why. I've heard very, very important people say they still don't understand what has happened. But I want to hear from what you guys, because it's what you guys think I believe matters most. But personally, for me, this is what my brain did. Okay, so first off and foremost, I would have hated if my team did this. And the thing is I personally believe everything revolves around results. There's no predetermined solution. There's no predetermined outlet of how this is supposed to play out. You guys gave a big old nasty back to Kirk Cousins to be the short-term future franchise quarterback for the organization, because you have Drake London, an up-and-coming, elite style-esque, big body, Michael Evans type of wide receiver. You have Kyle Pitts, who I genuinely still believe is a top 5 tight end. It does not matter what his statistics say. It does not matter about what his touchdown total is. I see the talent, I see the athleticism, I see the gifts. He just needs a consistent quarterback to get him the ball and get him ready. And then you have an elite running back in Bijan Robinson. Kirk Cousins is coming here to be the point guard and just distribute this ball to all the athletes, right? The only thing is, it's a pretty expensive job, a pretty expensive role. But this is what my brain has done with the whole Michael Penix situation. And then we're going to get into what you guys did in the draft, a few gems that you guys have that I really, really like. The thing is this, you hear one perspective say, if Michael Penix is doing super well, no, let's go the other way. If Kirk Cousins is doing super well and, Kirk Cousins is winning you guys games and you guys are in the playoff hunt and you're being a respectable team around the league, yeah, you've made a high pick on a positional player that may not play in the next 1 or 2 years, especially if your starter is hot. But at the end of the day, you got a starter in Kirk Cousins, and he's winning you games. And I just, once again, I think it was a panic pick. The rumor has said that Michael Penix Jr. was number 2 on the board. It was Caleb Williams at number 1, and then number 2 was Michael Penix Jr. So you guys got your guy. The organization got their guy. And that's just been the consistent word coming out of the building that Michael Penix, at least if he wasn't the number 2 overall player, it was definitely the number 2 quarterback that they had selected. And so that's what makes that price work. So once again, let's circle back. If Kirk Cousins is eating and doing great things, yes, you still have a left-handed, very arm-heavy driven quarterback that is just learning and waiting for his opportunity. I don't care about the age thing. I think you guys might be too worried about it, too hung up on it. It's a simple fact that if he has an opportunity to be good, be gifted, he has a lot of experience, he's mature. If you actually listen to this kid and not just see his image, see how he goes about his day, if you actually look at him, he's okay with the situation. That's number one. He's okay with the leader in Kirk Cousins. That's number two. And guys, yeah, there's all these types of things, these memes going out there of what Michael Penix's age will be as soon as Kirk Cousins' contract is over. And it's like, you're just saying he's just going to be a mature, already established, already ready quarterback in the NFL. And so let's look at it the other way though, right? Let's say Kirk Cousins is doing bad and, not doing great. Hear the murmurs of, hey, Penix is going to get a shot, Penix is going to get a shot, and then Penix get a shot. And he turns out to be a baller. He turns out to be an actual legit Michael Vick, just passing wise type of Atlanta Falcons quarterback. He gets you amazing highlight plays, and he brings energy, and he brings fans into the arena and gets everything super lit for Mercedes-Benz Stadium. I hear people say, well, then what happened to all that money that Kirk Cousins had? Who gives a shit? You guys got your franchise quarterback. You know how many organizations wish they could just lose $100 million for their franchise quarterback? Do you understand how many organizations would blow up $200 million just to get a franchise guy? So at the end of the day, if Kirk Cousins doesn't pan out and Michael Penix is the dude, just be happy that you got your dude. Now, the only situation that does not look good is if Kirk Cousins plays like ass, does not do well, and Michael Penix Jr. happens to be a bust. And I just don't think both of those can happen. Like, that's the least likely one, I believe, out of all the scenarios. So continue to let me know what you guys think about what you guys did in this draft. But once again, I think Michael Penix Jr. is very talented. I love the idea of how Atlanta Falcons stuck to their board and had Michael Penix Jr. as the number 2 quarterback on their big board. And so I think he's great. I think he had a great game against Texas. He played against Georgia in the national championship game, and it was a very tough game. He did what he could. He's had a long journey. He's went through adversity. I mean, you hear things about him saying he's injury prone, but guess what? He's also return prone. So he's able to return. He's also healthy prone in the sense of he'll come back. So I like that for you guys. Rugro, if you want to know how you say his name, it is Royabo. That's how you say it. Out of Clemson, defensive tackle. He plays up and down the defensive line. Very active, very heavy in his hands, good arm length. Just an athlete. Really like Rugro out of Clemson. He's going to bring a lot of versatility to the defensive line. And then you guys also go get Michael Penix Jr.'s teammate in Braylon Trice in the 3rd round. Pass rusher, big, nasty, physical guy. Definitely loves to let the quarterback know that his presence is here and he will feel all of his presence. Pause on that one. Braylon Trice, he has so many different packages. He has so many different moves. He can do a lot of different things. I also just love his engine. It does not stop, and he's a bigger boy too. He's a bigger edge player, to which at the end of the game, his weight and his speed and his talent is going to carry the defense into those late game, those big plays that you need the big boys to make. Brandon Dorlus out of Oregon. For you guys to get this guy in the 4th round, you're going to find out sooner or later how big of a play this actually is. He is a little bit of a tweener, which is why I think he fell. He plays in that interior defensive line spot. He was at the Senior Bowl. We actually had an opportunity to interview him. I myself interviewed Brandon Dorlus. Go to our Instagram page if you want to see it. But very good, cool dude, very athletic. He was a consistent nuisance in the interior for all the offensive linemen at the Senior Bowl. And then the last guy I really want to harp on is J.D. Bertrand. He was another dude that was just everywhere. A linebacker that's going to do great things for you in special teams very early. But I believe this was his hometown team. He always loved the Atlanta Falcons, and I think that's where he's from. And so you guys bring him into the building, get you guys another fast, athletic linebacker that's going to be able to play the quarterback position on the defensive side. I love what you guys have done. You guys pretty much said straight up, hey, after we lock in Michael Penix Jr., our quarterback that we want for the future, even though we have Kirk Cousins, we're going to go defense in round 2, defense in round 3, defense in round 4, defense in round 5. So clearly the offense is looking great. The offensive line is still awesome. Kyle Pitts is still a dog. You have an amazing receiving core. One of the top running backs already in the National Football League, and then a quarterback. So let's just fix up that defense. I love where the Atlanta Falcons are today. Let me know what you think about your Atlanta Falcons, though. like, comment, and subscribe.